Hey, good evening, Crossroads. Doing something a little different tonight, so I hope that you can jump on and be with us as we do this. I'm actually at home tonight, and I'm going to do it from home, so that you maybe I was going to share a story. That's why I wanted to be at home. So I'm going to share some stories with you and kind of show you around a little bit in my room as we kind of wait for people to jump on. But this is the room that. One of our extra rooms at the house, and Heather actually just recently let me have this room and decorate it just like I want it. So I've been kind of taking some time to put up some of my Yankee stuff in this room. I have lots of memorabilia, so I hadn't had a chance to kind of put all that stuff out yet. So I've just kind of been putting out some different things for people to see if they ever come over, and just so I get to look at it too. There's Joe DiMaggio there. But the main thing I wanted to show you was not that star. Somebody asked me one time if that star was for the Cowboys, and the answer to that is no, it's not. But this, I was going to show you this. This is it has a collection of all the different baseballs that I've gotten signatures from over the last, I don't know how many years, but lots of years. And so there's different ones in there from, let's see, there's Yogi Berra over here, Don Mattingly. I've shared with you guys about him being my favorite baseball player before. Here's Randy Johnson over here. But anyway, the one that, the row that means so much to me, there's the, down below here is Brett Gardner's batting glove, so I really like that. But the row up at the top here is, I really love that row. It's got all the different kinds of signatures on it, but it has what the Yankees have always called the core four. I don't know if you've ever heard of the core four. But the core four are four Yankees. Ask anybody that understands Yankee history, New York Yankees history, understands that the core four are four baseball players that were part of the core team that started in 1996 that played for the Yankees. They all came up through the minor league system, which was a huge deal. So there's Andy Pettitte. I have his autograph there. Derek Jeter. I have his autograph there. Mariano Rivera, his autograph. And then Jorge Posada, I have his autograph as well. And then there's some other Yankees that are kind of mixed in there as well. Bernie Williams, a lot of people say that Bernie Williams is if he didn't do well, he came through the farm system. See, the whole idea of baseball players coming up through the farm system was kind of a new, I don't know, it's the way it used to be, but it kind of one of those things that they started doing again. So it was like if Bernie Williams did well, then the other minor league players got a chance to play in 96 as well. So anyway, all these players, that core four, ended up coming up through the minor league farm system and began to play together in 96 and had a great year, many years actually. 4 World Series over 5 years. That was something that was really cool that they did. Lots of different things. Stories. The thing about stories, in 1996, there was a home run hit. Some people doubt that it was a home run, but we say that it is. Derek Jeter hit a home run in the 1996 World. It was game 1 of the playoffs against the Baltimore Orioles, and he hit it to right field. There was this kid named Jeffrey Mayer. Maybe you've heard of him. But he reached over the fence. There was a kid that he got out of school early. He was 12 years old. He went to the ballpark to watch the Yankees play. And he reached over the fence and pulled the home run over the fence as Tony Tarasco, the outfielder, jumped up to get the ball. Anyway, that made him kind of a famous person. They called him the Angel in the Outfield. And he became a huge deal in New York from that point forward. Interesting, though, if he had done that to an Orioles baseball, he probably would have had to be in the witness protection program in New York. But anyway, I just love stories, and I thought, I mentioned to you last week that I would share some stories with you this week, and I just wanted to share a few of them with you. Just in a season where we hear a lot of bad news, in a season where maybe you're worried more. If you're watching the news, you see all kinds of things that are being talked about. Maybe we know that bad news travels really fast. And so I just wanted to share some good news with you tonight, and hopefully it'll give you some hope, maybe in a difficult situation. So let me share just a few stories with you. Story one, I want you to know that Crossroads, because of your faithful giving, and so many of you that support our church and give to our church, that right now, as we speak, there are 2 homes being built in Nicaragua right now, in the Tamal community. We couldn't be there to do it, but we were able to send the money for it to be done, and then just to, even at that, to pay some Nicaraguan men to be able to work. So it's kind of like this double win. It's a safe and waterproof concrete floor metal home for a family who badly needs one, and at the same time a couple weeks of work for some men who really need some labor to support their family in Nicaragua. So that's an incredible story. Story 2 is about our online engagement. So we have as we've been live streaming our services, we've had people watch our services from Virginia, obviously, Illinois, Florida, Germany, Missouri, Nicaragua, North Carolina, Minnesota, Indiana, South Carolina, New York, Japan, Ohio, California, Tennessee, and Georgia just this past Sunday. Just this past Sunday, people watched from all those different places. I find that to be really cool and quite a reach for a church that's here in Yorktown. The third story, I heard from a family this week that they had been inviting their neighbors to come over on Sunday morning and watch the Sunday morning service with them. I think that is so cool. So here's this family that knows some neighbors who aren't believers, and yet they have invited them over and have been very clear that they had no desire, would never want to walk into a church building, but yet they were willing to go over and sit down with their neighbors. They were comfortable in their home and watch our services next door. That's such a cool story. Number 4, maybe this is like a countdown. I can't remember how many stories I had. Number 4, we've had some incredible people who have helped us continue to reach, with our services in Yorktown here. We've had some people that have helped us every single week, a faithful crew that has been there every weekend since the moment that we stopped being able to meet in the building itself. So from the time COVID hit, we had all these faithful people who have helped us do our online, all kinds of things that we've been doing online. For example, the recording, the hosting, the live streaming, the worship, the setup and tear down. And so just wanted to kind of give them a quick shout out. There's some really great people. Jacob and Chelsea have been helping us almost every week. Jacob, of course, has helped every week. Chelsea, almost every week. Coy, Ethan, Daniel, I don't want to say their last names. Daniel, Will, Ken Thompson. Oh, never mind. I just said his last name. Ken. Incredibly thankful for all of their hard work. They show up every week and help us set up, tear down, do live stream, reach people that are not anywhere near Yorktown as well. So really great crew there. Story 5, we have a consistent crew of people who have been helping put together lunches for homeless children. Yeah, Jacob, I know I messed up on that one. This is really cool. So when schools closed up, there were a lot of children that there was concern about them actually being able to eat lunch because they were eating lunch at school. So the school, Newport News School especially, did a great job with that. York County has as well. But there's this group of children who are homeless, and they're hard to track with the school. And yet Link was able to keep track of those kids. And so because they're homeless, they have this connection with Link. And so we've been able to feed those children lunches on multiple occasions. It's 100 children and over 60 families that we've had this crew come in of over 50 different people from our church over the course of the last few months, coming in and making sandwiches to help these families that are homeless, that need food. And it's been a consistent way for us to serve over the last few months. And we were going to do it until kind of summer hit, and then we weren't sure what would happen after that. But our student ministry, isn't this cool? Our student ministry decided to pick it up and they're going to continue to do the lunches through the entire summer. They've already done that together. They're going to continue to do that every other week. And so if you have a student, make sure they're a part of that. But such a cool way for us to serve. Another way for you to know that our church is very much alive. Story 6, you'd probably think at a time like this that we'd not see people connecting with our church, especially guests. And I would tell you that just this past Sunday night, I talked to 3 new families who are excited to be a part of our church. We've been able to do starting point orientation with, by Zoom with me, with several people. Our elders have been able to do our membership with several people all over Zoom. And that doesn't even touch the people who are part of our church that don't even live nearby and wouldn't connect in a way like that. But yet, there's so many new families that have been excited to be a part of what Crossroads is doing, even in this really crazy time. All right. Story 7. Let me see how many there are. There's only 8, so you're okay. Hang in with me for just a minute. Story 7. In 2019, I was invited to come pray with a church at an event at Calvary Chapel, Newport News. I have a friend there that's on staff at Calvary Chapel, Newport News. We actually served together at a previous church. She's on staff at Calvary Chapel. She's incredible. She does kids ministry there. She invited me to come over to the church and be a part of their service that night and pray. And I did, and I loved it. It was incredible, and it sparked a relationship that has continued to grow. So I've been back multiple times. Many of you have actually gone with me to some of those. And this friendship has blossomed with this church, Calvary Chapel, Newport News. And so in a time when you might watch the news and people will tell you that racial unity is not happening, I want to tell you that it is. That there are 2 churches, Crossroads Community Church and Calvary Chapel, Newport News. I want you to know that there's a lot of stuff on the news that's very negative, and I want you to hear something positive and hopeful. That Crossroads Community Church and Calvary Chapel, Newport News have now become 2 churches in different communities that love each other and want to serve and worship and fellowship and share the gospel together. And we're actually joining together tomorrow night, kind of for our first joined event together for baptism at Yorktown Beach. I'm so excited about it. And it's this beautiful picture of what Paul talks about in Ephesians chapter 4, when he says, "Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope, when you were called, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father over all, who is over all and through all and in all." And so as we move together in unity with this church, Calvary Chapel and Newport News, and our church, we're going to join them for baptism tomorrow and do this together. And then on July 26th, the last Sunday in July, they're going to join us at Crossroads for our outside service. And just really excited about that and just how God's doing racial reconciliation through these 2 churches together. And then our last story, story 8, is that I hope that you'll join us tomorrow night. There will be over 20 people being baptized tomorrow night between the 2 churches. That is incredible. So don't even begin to tell me that God is not up to something. I can't wait to be a part of it. So these are challenging times, maybe even discouraging for you. But I want you to know that God is moving, that He is alive. I don't want you to miss it. I'm challenging you right now. Don't miss it. Whenever we see that the followers of Jesus Christ have been scattered, I want you to know that the church grows. Even today, the church grows in those moments when we get out of our normal routines, when the normal routines are not kept. When we begin to think that God only works in a box or the way that He always used to, and then we realize, well, maybe we missed something here. When churches that are reaching 200 in their building are now reaching over 2,000 in a streamed service, I think that we should stop and pause for a minute and say, what is God doing? When social distancing has forced us to join in smaller groups, to hang out with our neighbors, to gather for the 4th of July with our neighbors next door rather than a bunch of other people that we've always gathered with, and we invite people back to our homes for worship, and we know the people who live beside us. I think we should stop and pause and say, what is God doing? When a church has to go back to the basics of feeding the homeless and building homes for people that are hurting, and joining together with another local church to cry out to God in prayer, to teach our own children about Jesus in our own home instead of depending solely on the church to do it for us. I'm telling you, God is moving. Don't miss it, okay? Don't miss it. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not see it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." So don't miss what God's doing, and don't think that he's asleep. He is moving. He is moving. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for commenting. I see you there, Sherry, and gosh, how do I move this up and down? Yeah, Jacob, Michelle, a bunch of you watching. Derek, yeah, says, I enjoyed watching your services. Might not be on time, but still make time to watch. Absolutely. Same with you, man. That's okay. That's why it sits there for anybody to watch at any time. And that's another huge benefit of this. People can see your service the next day or sometime other in the week too. So anyway, really cool. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. God is working. Don't miss it. Okay. Love you. Talk to you later.